Hi everyone! Welcome to another episode of the One More Stitch podcast, where I talk about all things knitting related and various other crafty things that I'm up to. My name is Sharon, and you can find me at RachelKnits on Instagram, Etsy, Ravelry, and here on YouTube. I hope everyone is having a great start to their November. And I really can't believe that's already November. It seemed like this year kind of just zoomed right by. Before we know it, it's going to be 2022, which is really crazy. I guess today I have a jam-packed episode of works in progresses and a lot more acquisitions to share with you. I hope you all enjoy the yarn acquisitions and the various other acquisitions that I get for my knitting. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, for starters, I will show my finished objects. So the first one I'm going to show is the Ember Fox Sweater. I finally finished both sleeves on the sweater, and I have posted a picture of me wearing it on my Instagram page already, so you can check that out if you want. So I knit the main body in Nutiden yarn, and everything is held double strand, and this is in the color Raw, and it's that brown, green, yellowish, earthy tone color. And then my contrast colors are Lugnet, Villgott, and Juni. So these three contrast colors came out very low contrast, which I do enjoy, and because it's Nutiden held double, and it's also 3 strands of color work, or 3 strands of yarn moving around to make the color work, it's super dense and squishy. Well, it's not too dense, it's very airy and light, but it's super squishy. When I wear it, it's kind of like a giant squishy sweatshirt type of feeling. And I also want to show you what the inside looks like with all of the floats. Ta-da! I thought it's pretty neat, and it also kind of shows like where all of the squishiness comes from. There's just so much going on in the back. And I didn't weave in any of the ends because over time of wearing it, the Nutiden will eventually fleece with itself, and I won't have to weave anything in. And my next finished object, which I've also posted on my Instagram. So this is my 1031 sweater by Ozetta. She designs a lot of very basic pieces for your wardrobe, and very essential pieces. So this can be worn with pretty much any outfit. It can be dressed up or down, and I also knit this in Nutiden yarn, and this is one of the colors in the May collection, and it's this very pretty burgundy mulberry type of color. There are hot pinks in it, as well as some browns and reds, and it creates altogether this very gorgeous fall color. Like I've said, I've been wearing this a lot, and it kind of just goes with every outfit. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say or mention what I am currently wearing. So this is the Serene Sweater, and this is by Caidree, and I was a test knitter for her when this pattern was coming out. It has rolled sleeves with an I-cord bind off, as well as the same detail on the neck. So it can be a turtleneck, but since the yarn that I used is very soft, it's alpaca, baby alpaca yarn, so it's very soft and drapey. It folds down into more of a mock neck, and the rest of it is a raglan construction. And it's also very comfortable and extremely warm. Okay, so I think that is all for my finished objects. And this also doesn't include the 2 finished objects that I mentioned in my last episode, which was the champagne cardigan and the Walpole Pullover. So you can go check that out if you want to. I'm going to move right into my works in progresses. I actually have quite a few, and a lot of them are test knits that I'm working on, so they will soon be released, but they currently are not yet. Okay, so the first one I showed, I believe in episode 1, is this one. So this is the Amara by RachelKnitsThings, and it has so much detail. So I finished the whole body, including the neckline. All I have left are the 2 sleeves, which I will get to before the deadline. So on the side panels, it is brioche, which I really like knitting. And then down the middle and side panels, there are so many cables going on. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's a beginner pattern, just because there are so many charts that you have to follow to create this pattern, and you definitely need a lot of patience to get this done. And on the back, there is a split hem in the middle, which is a very cute detail. I'd say if you're an adventurous beginner, you should definitely try this pattern when it does come out. It's super fun. You learn a lot of new techniques, and Rachel's really good at explaining everything to you. Oh, and this is also knit up in Nutiden yarn in the color Villgott, and it was a Patreon only color back in the May collection. It's a very pretty pink, gray pink. Next up, I have another test knit. So this currently does not look like much at all. So this is what it's meant to look like. I only have the front shoulder and front panel done. I am currently working on the back. I'm only working on the back because I misread something in the pattern and had to go back and work on the back. Otherwise, I would have been done already and begun working in the round. So this one I knit up in Plotulopi, and it's in one of the natural white colors. And I held this with a strand of just bare mohair. So it's also like this white creamy color. And it's knit up in this half fisherman rib, and I just think the texture is so pretty, and it's also a very easy pattern to pick up on once you start knitting it. It creates a similar squishiness to brioche without having to do the yarn over knits or yarn over purls. And this will be a pullover, and I think I forgot to mention it's the Walpole Pullover by TameraMakes. I'm very excited to finish this because it will be a very staple piece of my wardrobe. And I've also been really wanting to make a white sweater, so this will be perfect. And I'm also housing this in this cute project bag that I got from Blue Rabbit House. It has the cute little ginger cat on the front, and then it has some quilting in the back. When I got it, it was a one-of-a-kind, kind of scrappy mismatch of fabrics type of bag, and I really like how unique it is. You should also definitely check out the rest of her other bags. Okay, next up I have yet another test knit. Although, so this knit is for Ailbiona of Ailbiona, and she also creates a lot of very essential type of patterns that you can wear all the time, and they're not too complicated, but I think all of her structures and the construction of her patterns are really well written, and they're kind of out of the box, but they fit extremely well. So this is the body part of the Guilloche Pullover, and it is currently in pre-knitting. So what she does with her test knits is, they're not exactly test knits, but she sends a tech edited pattern for some people to knit up. There shouldn't be any errors in it, but it's definitely good to have like multiple eyes looking at it, just to make sure, and to make sure that the pattern works well. So it has these very pretty honeycomby texture, and it becomes super squishy, and it's created by a lot of cabling. So this is the body, and then I have one finished sleeve that I need to attach when I finish the other sleeve, and a sleeve in progress. And this is knit up, bottom up. So I started at the bottom ribbing over here, and then I worked my way up, and then I'll be attaching the sleeves and then moving on to the yoke and neck. And this is knit up in Nutiden yarn in the color Lugnet. So there's that. With the sun also setting earlier, I'm trying to record kind of quickly just so it doesn't get too dark in here. And I also really like using natural light versus overhead artificial lighting. So the last of my test knit work in progresses is this pullover. So this is the Mama Bear pullover by Teti of Teti's Garden. So Teti designs a lot of really gorgeous sweaters and pullovers that have very detailed yokes. And they're very detailed yokes, but it's not complicated at all. You just have to be sure to follow the pattern and pay attention, essentially. So this one has really pretty, I guess, like round diamond types of shapes, and also some yarn overs to create the little eyelet details, and so far it is knitting up really quickly. I feel like once I start, it's hard to put it down. So Teti's designs also fit extremely well. I don't know how she does it, but every single one of my test knits I've done for her and all the pullovers I've made have fit extremely well, and they're very perfect. Oh, and I knit this one in my Morning Moon alpaca yarn that I got from Rhinebeck. So this is what the cake looks like, and here is the original skein. And again, it's so soft. It's a mix of merino, alpaca, and silk. So it also has a little bit of that sheen from the silk. Okay. And then moving right along, so I'll be talking about some of my works in progresses that are not test knits. They're just for fun. So the first one is this one. So I have hopped onto the half and half triangles wrap shawl, or half and half triangles wrap. And I am knitting this from Purl Soho's linen quill in the fingering weight. So I got one of their color kits because I just really like the combination. So I knit this up, or I'm knitting this up in, let's see, so this one is Dark Iris. And then the second color will be Peach Stone. So Dark Iris is pretty much a dark purpley color, and then Peach Stone is more of a neutrally brown tan taupe color with a touch of purple in it. So I just really like this combination. And I'm not too far into it yet, but it is definitely starting to build. This is definitely a like mindless knit that I can do while watching some shows. And then, so this is my last work in progress. It also kind of looks like nothing right now because I have the cables kind of, or the cable in two parts at once. So I'll show you the back. Okay, so this is the front. This is the November jacket by Petite Knit that I am knitting up. And this is the front panel. And I finished the back piece. And I'm picking up for the left shoulder now. I think this jacket is definitely a work of love. It's definitely a lot of hard work to knit this jacket. It is full on brioche, so you can imagine how long it takes because each row is pretty much knit twice to get the squishy brioche texture. And then the neckband slash button band portion is double knit. So I just always find it so fascinating how like when you do the double knitting, it creates pretty much two sets of fabric on the front band. And it makes it really thick and dense, which is nice to hold in like all of the buttoning. But yeah, I'm working on the left shoulder. The thing I also really like about brioche is that once you work it up, it just always looks so neat. I guess it gives each stitch more time and space for it to like stretch out and kind of relax a bit. And I am knitting this in this yarn. So this is Blacker Yarn's Gotland DK weight, and it is woolen spun, and it's in the shade Mist. So it's this really neutral gray color. And I really like it so far. It knits up very well. It's a little bit scratchy, definitely not next to skin soft, so it's perfect for the jacket. And I have this project housed in this project bag slash this bucket tote. It is the Hohi & Co. Pampa XL, and it's in the mustard suede. I think it is the waxed suede. It's a very pretty mustard color. Yeah. All right, so that ends all of my works in progresses and finished objects. I guess next we can move on to my yarn acquisitions. So in my very first video, I did tell you that I'll be showing you the September collection of Nutiden yarn. So I have it with me right here, which you might be able to have seen peek out on screen the whole video. And all these colors are extremely beautiful, and they're so soft and squishy. Okay, so I have the color names next to me, and starting from the top. So this is Medstroms, and is essentially like the fraternal twin of Medvind. And it's a dark gray brown with well, it's mostly just a dark gray, and there's like little tinges of brown hints in it. So if you have Medvind, that one is a little bit more on the warmer side, and then Medstroms is a little bit more on the cooler side. So there's this one, and then next, this one is Greer. And it's a very pretty pinky, peachy, gray based yarn. It's extremely soft and squishy. Okay. Next up is this beautiful color, and it's called Dis. And it's a kind of a gray beige tone. Leans a little bit more gray, I would say. It's super airy and lightweight, and extremely soft. And then this one is Pupelin. And it's a very pretty teal, turquoisey, light blue. It's my favorite color, not essentially to like wear, is like teal, like a light teal type of color or type of blue. I love all types of blues, and I think this tealish blue is literal perfection in my books. It's a very neutral color, even though it is still colored. So I'm very excited to knit up something large with this, because I did get a decent amount of Pupelin. And then we have Analkan. So this to me is like a darker Greer, but it's also the color is more solidly dyed, I'd say. There's not as much variation in this yarn as there are in some of the other Nutiden yarns. It's very smooth. It's a very pretty like darker pinky red. And then last but not least is this one. So this is Rope, and it's a natural black, and this one is the softest, I would say, and it's so beautiful. So in some lights it can look a little dark chocolatey, And then in some other ones it'll look more black. Yeah, it's super pretty. So that is the September collection of Nutiden yarn by Höner Oak Air. And again, apologies if I don't pronounce everything correctly. I'm not Swedish, nor do I speak the language, unfortunately. Okay. So next up, I do have some more yarns to share with you that I got recently. To start off with, this doesn't really look like anything right now because it is vacuum packed. So this is Wild in the Woods wild wool yarn, and it is a Canadian yarn, and so these are unspun plates as well. They're very similar to like Plotulopi, where it comes pre-packaged and pre-weighted out with some yardage already. So I got, I believe like 2 sweater quantities worth of this yarn color, and this is one of, I believe it's the dark gray that I got. And with these vacuum packed yarns, once you open it, apparently they like poof up and expand. So I'm very excited for that to happen, but I'll do it when I'm actually knitting with it. And I also got this tiny little baby mini skein as a little extra gift with my order, of course. Next up, I got some of this tin line or tin line from Sandnesgarn. So this is in what, I'm not sure, I forgot what the color name was, but it is the dark blue color. And I am thinking of holding this double and knitting up the Anker's summer shirt. And tin line is a mix of cotton, linen, and viscose. And I purchased this from Nordic Nest, which is a local Nordic inspired shop. They don't only sell yarn, but they do have a stash of Sandnesgarn yarns in their shop. So that's where I typically go to get Sandnesgarn when I need it. So if you're ever in the Bay Area, you should definitely check them out. And then next, to go along with my half and half wrap triangle shawl knitting, I also wanted to get some more variations and color combinations. And I'm probably going to give one of them away to my mom as a gift. So I got these 2 colors. And this one was purely inspired by Stephanie of Edible Thoughts Makes. She used this combination in one of her very first half wrap triangles shawl, or half and half triangles wrap. And it's in the colors Rose Granite, which is this one, and the second color is Rosewood Pink. So in Stephanie's podcast episodes, when she showed it, I just thought they looked so beautiful together. And with all of her photography of the shawl, I just knew I had to make one as well. So thank you, Stephanie, for giving me the combination. I hope you don't mind that I am making the same shawl as you. But yeah, I really like these two colors together. I think they will make a really great shawl, and I'm very excited to have one of my own. And then the next color combination I got is a cooler toned kind of combination. So this darker one is in the color Stillwater Blue. And it's like a dark cool tone navy type of color. It definitely leans like more on the gray side, and so does this blue. And this one is gray denim. So I figured this one would make for a very nice like wintry type of shawl when it finally does get cooler and it's past like the whole fall season. And then lastly, from Purl Soho, they were having a sale on the linen quill worsted weight, so I had to get some. This one, so I got sweater quantities in both of these colors. I will be making, I already have what I'm making planned for these yarns. One of them will be the Snowy Forest. And that pattern is by Midori Hirose or Cafe Knit Midori. And then the other one is also by Midori Hirose or Cafe Knit Midori. And this one will be the Snow Crocus sweater. So this red color is chestnut red. It's like a very neutral red, I would say. It almost leans towards like the burgundy type of side. Less purple though. And then this gray color is Stonewall Gray. And it's just it's more of a flat gray color. You can't really see the linen specks as much from far away, but that's fine. It's just a very pretty gray. All right. I believe that is the last of my yarn related acquisitions. I do have a couple more items to share with you. So for starters, ta-da! I have the Craft and Explore backpack by Hohi & Co. So I got it in the this chestnut color as well as the black leather color, and that one I use to go out a lot and for work, so I don't have it right next to me right now. So what I really love about this backpack is that there are a lot more compartments in it. So there's like a laptop sleeve inside as well as a zippered pocket. There are also the 2 water bottle pockets and another zippered pocket in the back. And if you're traveling with it, it also comes with like that carry-on sleeve, so you can put it through the handle of the carry-on suitcase. And this backpack is extremely well constructed. Hohi did say that they had to find a special or a shop that like specialized in making backpacks so that these would come out extremely well crafted and ergonomically more correct. And to go along with the Craft and Explore theme, I also got the zipper tote. So I also got this in this foresty army green color and in the black leather. So the leather on these bags are more matte versus shiny. There's a large pocket here and then another large pocket on the inside and a zipper pocket. And oh no, my stack of Nutiden has fallen over. Okay, please stay. So these are also very well constructed. They're a little bit more lightweight in nature compared to the backpacks, and they're not as deep in the base. And I definitely like that it has a zipper on the top because I don't want to be dropping things all over the place if the bag were to fall over. So that's definitely appreciated. I have more Laine Publications. So let's start with this edition of their usual magazine. So originally when I was going to knit the Snowy Forest sweater, I wanted to purchase the pattern on Ravelry, but then I found out that they've actually published it in edition number 10. So I figured I might as well just get the magazine because there are also other amazing patterns in it. So I also got this from Nordic Nest when I was there picking up the Teen Line yarn. And like I've said in my first episode, Laine does an amazing job photographing all of the patterns and all of the yarn. So this will be the Snowy Forest sweater that I will be knitting. And it's just so beautiful, and I love the cabling detail on the yoke. And then last but not least, I have the Stripes book. So this is a publication by Vera and by Laine. So Vera designed a whole bunch of garments and accessories that have stripes on it, and everything in here is absolutely beautiful. And Laine was actually nice enough to reach out to me after I posted about my very first podcast episode, and they wanted to gift me a copy of the book. So that was extremely generous of them, and I'm so grateful to have received it. And as a special bonus, they also included a second copy for me to give away in a future podcast episode, or just in the future in general. So I figure, this would be an amazing giveaway prize for everyone. So thank you so much, Laine. I'm very excited to start knitting out of the books, and to continue to flip through all of the pages of the Stripes book. The outside of the book is that similar clothy feeling as the 52 Weeks of Socks and Shawls book. So I will be announcing a giveaway in the future that will feature this Laine book called Stripes. But that will be to come, and I hope you stay long enough and continue to watch my podcast episodes. So as soon as you open the book, it's a lot of stripes. And I haven't actually flipped through this too much yet. I just really wanted to share it as soon as I got it. It just arrived on my doorstep last night, so it was very timely. And the photography in the book is just so pretty, and so are the patterns. And I definitely really like stripes as well. So I'm very excited to knit these. I think they're also a very great detail and alternative to color working. And it's very easy to get the hang of and produce a really pretty garment. So yeah. And this concludes episode 3 of the One More Stitch Knitting podcast. I hope you have a great rest of November and start of the holiday season. If I don't see you anytime soon, hopefully I'll be able to record a little bit more and kind of share more of my works in progresses and more of my progress on the projects itself. So yeah, until next time, see you then. Bye.